We're going to be adding two servos to our project. These are two hobby style servos like you'd find in an RC car or model shop. Plug them into the Robo Rio on ports 8 and 9 as shown in this. If you have two, if you only have one, just plug it into port number 9. We are back to our cumulative robotics project. Before we go into that, let's take another look at the WPI library. This one's going to be a little bit more confusing. We're back to the FRC namespace. We're going to go down to PWM. PWM is the type of signal that comes out of the robot controller. This is the same type of signal that you would see in the model RC field like this. These are model airplanes. Inside of these model airplanes, boats and cars, are these types of servos. This is a very common standard. Now, there is a class in the WPI library called PWM, and it's a generic output. You could honestly just declare an object of any type that uses the PWM output and drive nearly anything. You'll see that servo is a child of PWM. There's another class called PWM speed controller, which is a child of PWM. You can kind of think of this as being bushes, this being trees, this being types of trees. If we go to the website and look at the then setup guide and go to the very last page, you'll see a note I added of speed controllers. These right here are the current ones that are in production. The ones we'll be using are these first two lines, the Victor and Talon. All of these others are obsolete. Many teams still have them. That's why they're in the library. What is not shown on here are the servos. The servos actually use the same type of PWM signal that you see on these four controllers and all of these down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to you see the servo class right here. We're going to go directly to that class, and it's pretty simple. We declare an object of type servo. We'll be using set to set the position of the servo. So let's just go do that. We'll get set up here. I need to go back to here and grab the header. Here's our header. Just like before, we're going to go to the H file, add it to our project right there. We get the same error as before. We'll fix that. Let's go create a couple of servos. Actually, let's go up here and keep all these WPI objects together. Servo, we'll just call it S1. We're going to put it on port number 8. I have two of them in this example. You may only have one. S2. So we have our servo set right here. Boom. Let's go to the CPP file. Go back to H, make a couple of values. Let's get, what do we have? We have left X, left Y. We'll use those values there. So let's just go say S1 dot set. Set what? It's going to be set. It's going to be some value. We'll just grab something that we already have off the joystick right here. We'll grab the left Y and the right Y. So on one of these, we're going to go left Y, S2, set Y, and we're going to save that. We need to compile it, build it. It's built. Let's deploy. I'll come to teleout mode. I'll press enable. And I can move the joystick. I can move the joysticks and the servos move around with it. So there you go. And that's how we connect the joysticks to the servos. Connecting it to the drive motors will be nearly identical. We'll do that in a later session.